Welcome to the Young and the Restless, the Pop Cultures WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
I am the semi-precious version of The Rock, the Gem.
You can listen to us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services and very soon, 9 a.m. on the YouTubes. If you want to join the wrestling conversation, head to Facebook group, facebook.com/group/popculturist. All the Discord links are in the description below if you do want to come chat. And if you want to show support for the Young and the Wrestlers and the Pop Culturists on your body, head to thepopculturist.com/shop where you can buy shirts like this and like that. And I believe as time this goes up, there is a sale on 30% off, something like that. Ooh. If you want to buy some sweet stuff. And we are on Patreon, patreon.com/popculturist if you want to support us that way. Hey, Bean Man.
Yeah, good. Confused.
Confused.
Chris Hemsworth playing Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, so as of today, there was an announcement that, as you said, Hulk Hogan, biopics in the works, Chris Hemsworth said to play the titular role. Okay. I don't know. I hope they do the part where there's the sex tape and then he says the N-word. I think that part's incredibly important in the story of Hulk Hogan.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, that's
is vital information.
That is very important
to
Hulk Hogan as we know now.
Yes. Yep.
And the Gorka case and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But
wow, was not expecting that.
And speaking of, I did see another report today that the guy that played the villain in Aquaman, he played Black Manta, wants to play Booker T. So then hopefully he can also almost say the N-word on television.
That's awesome. I love that.
Remember that bit where he's like yelling at Hulk Hogan? Yeah, he's one.
I'm pretty sure Booker T got the word out and then he was like...
It was very good. But how's your week been anyway, man?
Yeah, good. So I started the new job. It's going really well.
Very
nice. No complaints there. How about you?
Yeah, no, my week's been pretty solid, man. No major complaints. No major complaints at all. And now don't forget, everyone, that next week... Just like this week, if you've already listened to this, you get 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
So this week, you're getting Elimination Chamber, and as well as the usual weekly shows. Next week, you get the weekly shows and our review of Fighting With My Family, the new movie about WWE superstar Paige.
Yeah,
so you go to the press screening next Wednesday, so you'll hear about it all on Thursday. We might give you a little snippet on the Wednesday night if you keep it on the Facebooks.
Yeah, photos, things like that.
But yeah. So it's been a little while. So it's been a big couple of days since the pay-per-view of the Elimination Chamber went down. But due to conflict schedulings, we couldn't record straight after like we did with the Rumble. But that's fine. If people want to care about what we have to say, you hear it now.
Yeah.
First of all.
Better late than never.
That's it. So the Elimination Chamber took place somewhere. I forgot to write down where I want. It's a relatively smaller card than the Royal Rumble, which is good.
Yeah.
So it's focused on less time. So rather than being like the 7-hour affair, including pre-show for like the Rumble, this was 3 hours, just shy of 4. Yeah. I think. Because the main event was like 3.5 hours, about an hour, 45 minutes. It's over 4, but it's not like a bajillion. So it was not too shabby to watch.
Yeah.
I started watching it at work, and then I watched it that evening with Craig. We had a good time.
Oh, good.
Very good. We got very invested in it.
Yeah.
As we do.
Yep, I did during the day.
And you watched it during the day? So you watched it live or a little bit later?
Yeah, I did watch it live. Yep, I watched it live. So that was really cool to watch. I was curled up in bed just enjoying it, which was nice.
Oh, very nice.
Just rolled up in my blankets, just watching on my laptop. It was really nice.
It's a good life we live.
Yeah. It was definitely a cozy day.
But as seems to be tradition, the kickoff show did showcase the 205 Cruiserweight Championship match. I do think it's very weird that they do this. However, I do think because the kickoff show is normally shown on YouTube and social medias and whatnot, I think it's a good place to showcase 205 to the masses because not everyone watches 205. So any big hard WWE fans may not normally watch the kickoff show, but because they normally do cool and spectacular spots and really just athletic prowess, it's a good way to get people to want to get in on the network and then watch everything from there. But once again, I literally wrote Buddy Watson on my page.
Buddy Murphy.
Oh, fuck. So it was a Cruiserweight Championship match between the current champion Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa. The winner, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
Buddy Murphy
Aussie,
retains.
Aussie.
Fucking solid match, man.
Yeah, see, I missed it. I did miss it, but I'll have to go back and watch it.
No, it was just more of the same awesome stuff that we saw at the Rumble. A lot of those
Yeah.
really cool big spots. A lot of
Yeah.
those awesome things, like with Buddy and like especially Akira, like having those Akira.
Yep.
Yeah, Akira. A lot of those sort of airborne stuff. A lot of
Yeah.
good tumbles. I still love the Murphy's Law as the as the finisher.
That is good.
It's very good. It's a real hot bummer. It's a real hot bummer that they're stuck on the kickoff show.
Yeah.
But it's the
get-
best play. It's the best way for new eyes to come onto them.
I was going to
and-
say they'd be more televised sort of publicly, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, it's not hidden behind the premises of you have to sign up to the WWE network.
Yeah,
Obviously
because
showing on
205
YouTube and
is
stuff like that.
exclusive to WWE Network. Like it doesn't air on television at all.
Yeah.
Like they do need to get people onto the network
Yeah.
to watch it, and that's probably the best way
Yeah,
to get around
definitely.
it. But yeah, solid match. But
Good.
the pay-per-view itself did kick off with the Women's Tag Team Championship, the first ever, as they say. Now, this is not the order of entrance. This is just a straight up order. So
Don't forget to mention this was in the chamber.
this was in the chamber match. So there were four tag teams in the pods, 2 in the ring, and they were Sasha and Bailey as the Boss Hug Connection, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville as Fire and Desire, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce as the Iconics, Jax and Tamina as the Samoan Sisters, Carmella and Naomi as Fabulous
I
Glow,
think they call themselves the Samoan Slaughterhouse.
Samoan Slaughterhouse, and whatever.
Yeah.
I still don't fucking care.
Yeah, neither.
And Sarah
like
Logan and Liv Morgan as the Riot Squad. So in order of elimination, first to get out was Carmella and Naomi. Second were the Iconics. Third were the Riot Squad. Fourth were Jax and Tamina. Fifth were Mandy and Sonya. Therefore, leaving the first ever women's tag team champions to be the Boss and Hug Connection of Sasha and Bailey.
Yeah.
Holy bonkers was this a match.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I can say is damn. Like, Ron Simmons eat your heart out. Like, damn. Like, that was my, wow, what
Yeah.
a showcase. What a great way to open a show. What a phenomenal finish. A very emotional finish as well.
Oh, yeah, I was a bit of a mess, yeah.
Especially considering, obviously, the last couple of weeks, Sasha has been injured. She hasn't been competing properly.
Yep.
Yeah, the fact that she was able to get the win, like, that was, huge for obviously her and Bailey. It's huge for Bailey, obviously, knowing that Sasha does still have her back. So yeah, it was super phenomenal. That when Bailey jumped out of the way and Nia went through the chamber door.
Yep.
Phenomenal.
So what was really impressive about the matches, there were no I don't believe there were no eliminations until everyone was in.
Yes,
'Cause
everybody was in the ring
That was
first.
one of my biggest concerns about this match, knowing that it was a tag team match, a big tag, for the tag team belts. I thought there would be 6 people standing on the ring, and then 2 people.
Yeah,
kind
like
of
a normal tag match,
yeah, like
not
a
a
normal
tornado
match.
tag.
But it looks like it was more of a just mass carnage.
Yeah,
It
I'm
just-
pretty sure they call that tornado tag when everybody's in.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just more of everyone's in. There's no issues. There's no need to tag in and out. It's
Yeah,
just
team versus
if
team.
one of your team gets eliminated, you're both out. And
Yeah.
then if one person wins, you both win.
Yeah.
Way better handled than I thought it was going to
Yeah.
be. I thought if they had to go traditional tag team, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
It's going to be chaos. It's going to be too many people just standing around doing jack.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like everyone was going to the nines. You can really
Mm-hmm.
tell what this meant to a lot of the women in that
Definitely.
chamber. So as you mentioned, the first to get out were Naomi and Carmella
At the hands of the Iconics.
at the hands of the Iconics in an exceptional roll up pin.
Yeah. So it was like Billie Kay did some flip bar bridge thing.
Yeah, so it was a combination of a pin on the back with the
The
I
bridge.
can't remember how it went. Yeah, so it was almost
And
like
Peyton,
a
jumped on it.
yeah, it's almost like Billie Kay had Carmella's head in between her knees, and then Peyton come over the top, grabbed the legs, pulled them down in a 2-person stomp. So it was this great. There's no way of getting out of that, and they were out.
Yeah. So good.
There are some external factors for me to think why they've gone. You need to as in Iconics, as an example, you need to focus on these 2 women. They, we're not happy with them right now.
Yeah, this is
Beat the piss out of them.
punishment.
I don't know if
yeah.
it's really weird for corporate to do that, but I get why.
Yeah.
There has been. We won't touch upon them because it's kind of not what we talk about here.
Yeah.
But it is part of that, and it's a
Yeah.
kind of a bummer.
But for me, I loved it because it really showcased what the Iconics are about.
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't seen much of them. We don't see them wrestle to that capacity. So to see them in the ring pulling shit like that, it definitely shows that they are on the main card for a reason.
Yeah, so the Iconics sit in this real weird zone, and you know how most wrestlers can sort of be categorized on a good guy or a bad guy. There's someone not like an anti-hero, they're just somewhere in the middle. They're just whatever they want to be.
Yeah.
So
Fluid.
it was very cool to sort of watch them have a moment to shine. So
Yeah.
it's this weird line that we feel that we should be loyal to them as Australians.
Yeah.
We're kind of not, because they're kind of shit.
Yeah.
But they were given a genuine go. Like they were promoted very heavily coming into this match, and then they came in and then they held their own. Like
Yeah.
So with Sonya Deville, so with Fire and Desire and the Boss Side Connection, they kind of went nuts for a while. They were all four of them were on the ground, and that's when the Iconics came in and they took advantage of that, and they tried to pin every single one of them.
Yeah, they did. They went for everyone, and that's what I loved about them. It really was that time for the Iconics to shine, and I had high hopes for them, and I think at the same time I was kind of like, but I know they're going to go out early, and though they did, they still exceeded the expectations I had for them. Like, I was really impressed with their showing.
100%. So like having them be in there with the likes of Sasha and Bailey and Nia and Tamina, like people that have been around for a while, the bigger units, they're stronger units.
Yeah.
Like I expected them to be knocked out real fast.
Yeah.
However, yeah, they were like the second team to be eliminated.
Yeah.
However, like before they had such a good space.
Yeah.
The Riot Squad as well showed a lot of promise. They were really good.
Definitely.
I said we were watching it at work. So Paris, my boss, a friend of mine, he wanted the Riot Squad to win. He's like, I think it's about time the Riot Squad get a shot. So like, that's where his investment was in.
And that would have been cool to see, obviously, like the 3 interchange defenses and stuff like that.
Yes, because cool. With Ruby Riot then going on to take Ronda on later in the night, it would have been a really good way to sort of bring that all together in a really cool way. They got eliminated, of course, but we should mention their exceptional cross bodies from the top of that pod.
Oh, yes.
So they were both standing on top of the pod. There was 2 on one side, 2 on the other, and they just did this exceptional cross body bit. And I don't know how they not got hurt. It was brilliant.
Yeah, that was
brilliant.
Brutal but beautiful.
Nia Jax, Tamina, they were interesting. What was really fascinating is when they came out, the Iconics went and hid in a pod.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was a nice little touch.
That was so funny. They were taunting them, like, obviously earlier in the match. So, like, when they came out, like, they were beating on everyone, and the Iconics were just standing in their pod like this. They pulled the doors closed, and they just ripped the doors open and just, yanked them out. It was great.
Sorry, we should mention, speaking of Iconics, good friend of the show, Damo, in our Discord chat as we're watching, he said, quote, I believe the Iconics are just 3 galahs strapped together to look like a human. So as Australians, the galah is the most annoying, fucking obnoxious sounding bird you can imagine.
Yeah, flaming
and you
galahs.
put 3 of them together, and that's what Billy Kay sounds like.
Yeah.
So
You've
spot on.
choking me.
So to that, yeah, but yeah, so there was a spot where Nia did try to hip and shoulder Bailey into the pod. Yeah. Bailey jumped out of the way. Nia collected the living fuck out of that pod.
It was the best movement of the match.
Blew out the windows, was in there, and was down.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't moving. It was like
she was done. That's where they capitalized. So it was Nia, Tamina, Fire and Desire, and
Sasha and Bailey.
Yeah, Boss and Hug, and they obviously. Like
they did a 4-person pin.
Yeah.
So that got Tamina out, and that got Nia.
Yeah, because Nia was done for. They capitalized on Tamina, and all 4 of them teamed up to just take them out, which was phenomenal. Great teamwork from all of them.
It was really good because that's when it comes to matches involving Tamina and Nia, especially like the Royal Rumble matches and whatnot, it does come to a point where like, how are they gonna actively get this woman out?
Yes.
So for them to take advantage of Nia being down, I got the hiccups all of a sudden in the burps. So with Nia being that huge, stronger opponent, like having her out of the picture was a really good time for them to come in and take her out.
Exactly. Obviously on the, I guess you'd call Tamina the weaker link just because she's smaller in stature.
Well, yeah, when you, like, granted, comparatively, they're still both boss units.
Yeah,
but it's just like
it's
the lesser of the pair.
Yeah,
of the yeah, so that was really cool, and that left us, as I said, with Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose at Boss Hog Connection. Great little bout in the end. There was this really excellent, I think it may have been earlier on, I'm not too sure, but where it was literally 1-for-1. Like,
Yeah.
there were, I think it may have been earlier on, because I think all four corners were being held.
Yeah.
And it was literally one person coming in, bam, down. Another person came in, bam,
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
And it was on repeat, and it was just...
So
like,
good.
everyone's getting knocked and picked up and knocked to pick up, and it was great to watch. Actually, that was early on because the Iconics were involved in that.
Yes, yeah.
And that was just a great little spot when you saw. I think there was later on. Sonya gets like a backbreaker or like a spine buster from Sasha Banks, and then to a Bailey to belly. Like she got the high end of the stick in that little beat down there. Because we should mention WWE 2K19 did predict
say that,
that Fire and Desire would win.
Yeah,
Little did we
and
know
I
they
was-
would get fucking second.
Yeah. I was very like, oh, like maybe 2K19 got it right.
Yeah, I was
I was-
concerned that 2K19 does have this unknown love for Sonya Deville because she was predicted to win the Rumble, but didn't.
Yeah. But no, I was stoked on the outcome. I was really stoked on the outcome. Obviously, it was super emotional. You had like
Also, I should mention it did end on the bank statement on Mandy Rose.
on Mandy Rose. So Mandy tapped.
Bailey was mushed into a pole. at
Yeah.
that point.
Yes. So yeah, that was super emotional. Like you had people like Trish Stratus tweeting out like, you know, I may be crying right now. Like this is amazing. Congratulations. And I think Bailey retweeted it and she was like, "Are you ready?" Like I was like, "Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see you come.
Or-
Oh, no, are you and Lita ready?" She said.
Yeah, I saw that
I
and
was
I'm like, oh my god, bring
it on.
on Trish Stratus, Lita, Rumble.
Women's
Sorry,
tag-
Mania.
Yep, women's tag champions. Yes,
yeah.
please.
If that would
yeah.
if Sasha and Bailey were to lose to anyone, I would hope it was
Yeah.
Lita and Trish.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it was obviously super emotional. Like their personal social media accounts, there was tears everywhere. There was love everywhere.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful. Like Bailey, you could tell was super moved by it.
Yeah. Well, because these women
yeah.
were around sort of near the beginnings of NXT. They really held their own there. They were both
Mm-hmm.
multiple NXT Women's Champions, and then coming to the main roster, then both being champions here as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's really groundwork here, and
Yeah.
like they
And
have
as
been.
friends
Yeah, as
well.
friends, they've been partners for a very long time, and it's nice. It's finally now for them to be honoured with the championships
Yeah.
for the work they've put in and
Yeah.
the exceptional pairing and the time.
In the words of the crowds, you deserve it.
Oh, whenever I hear that, I just get messed.
Yeah. They've definitely earned that spot.
Yeah,
so
without a doubt.
all power
And
to them.
of course, this just sets up for this almighty vision that I have with the four horsewomen. And we get Sasha and Bailey holding up tag team belts. We'll have Becky holding the Raw Women's Championship.
Yep.
Charlotte holding the women's championship. And that's
SmackDown.
the four of
Yeah.
them in one ring, and that's going to be a fucking. There's a
That would
Photoshop
be-
job that
yeah.
I sent. I did share on Twitter.
Yeah. I think
And
I
then
saw
I'm
that.
very,
and I was
very
like,
happy to see.
phenomenal. That would
But
be
yeah,
so
that was a
good.
really solid match. There
Yeah.
were literal edge of my seat moments because my concern going in was that Tamina and Nia would win.
Yeah.
And then pushing Sasha and Bailey to try get that match back for Mania and
Yeah.
get the win. Granted, on the grander stage, that would be awesome. But
Yeah.
no, they
I feel like
did
it's
it.
more-
They
it's
made
more-
it was the right thing here.
Yeah. It's more like it's a bigger thing being the first person to win it. So.
Yeah, and once again, because Tamina has weaseled her way into being the first in many things.
Yeah.
I thought that may have happened here, but it didn't,
Yeah.
thankfully. Next, we'll keep the tag team love going. Next was the
Yeah.
SmackDown Tag Team Championship match against Shane McMahon and The Miz versus the Usos.
So
There was the winners were the Usos after some complications with Shane McMahon
Yes.
sort of getting taken out of the picture.
he did do
giving-
one of those big old elbows off the.
Yeah, so after trying to do a double coast to coast, you had each. So Jimmy and Jay in one corner each.
Yeah.
He did one coast to
got
coast.
one.
Got one of them, beautiful. I think it may have been to Jimmy. No, it was Jay. And then he went to go for the second. Jimmy or Jay, not the same.
Yeah.
Stood up, super kicked him in the face, dropped him down,
Beautiful super kick.
took him out for a while. Beautiful super kick.
Yeah. Yeah, just copped him right on
And
the
they got a bit of
a
a scuffle out there, and there was a point where the Miz was able to get one of them out of the ring,
Yeah.
onto the announce
Announce
table,
table.
and then he's like, "Get up, Shane! Get up! Get on the thing to get you to do his tremendous
Yeah.
elbow drop from the post to the table."
Yeah.
He does that. It doesn't quite go as well as it should. it still collects. Like
Yeah.
whichever
Yeah, they're
Uso
both-
that
yeah.
was got ruined, but with Shane doing that and being out of commission and
Miz was
looking to be almost unconscious, they were both on their own.
Yeah.
And when they got into the ring, there was a scuffle. Miz was able to get the skull crushing finale,
Mm-hmm.
but that did lead. But for some, I've seen the skull crushing finale just annihilate people. But somehow, I'm gonna say Jimmy.
Uso.
Yeah, Us got up and then was able to turn it out, get the pin.
Yeah.
I think sorry.
Yeah, it was like a beautiful.
I take that back. It was a drop. It was a pin. The Miz, almost like a dog, was using his head to push him over. Gets him over. Goes to the pin.
Yeah, it took way
tap it
too
to
long.
roll up like a little jackknife pin. I think they're called.
Yeah.
And then Usos
Yeah,
get the
done.
win.
Yeah.
So they are now the 6-time tag team champions.
Beautiful. Again, another phenomenal match. I love Shane O'Mac, don't get me wrong, but he is going to kill himself one day. He just does the most ridiculous shit for show. Like, he just doesn't care about his body. He cares about getting the crowd going, which I love about him.
And getting that win.
Yeah, he is a true entertainer. He's so good at what he does. Because he does. He gets you so excited and you're like, yes, he's going to do that and he's going to win. And then he just completely knocks himself out. And you're like, can't you just the referee?
What I loved, right? I loved before the match they showed this clip of like old matches for Shane. I'm like, wow, that was like 20 years ago, and you are still doing it. Like,
you still look exactly the
if
same.
I'm
just
50
white
and
hair.
I can just get out of bed in the morning, like I'll be impressed. Let alone then jumping from shit to shit.
Yeah, phenomenal. Like, he is phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
he's so good at it, but I worry about him every time he does something crazy like that.
Yeah, so with the outcome of the Usos getting the win, there you very clearly a lot of shock and horror on both Shane. Well, the Miz, I think Shane was unconscious at that point.
Yeah,
but the Miz
was
devastated because he was the one that he did put Shane up in that corner to get him on that jump. He's the one that caused this moment. So for him, he's the one that he believes he was the one that cost him the.
And not just that, obviously earlier in like his entrance, he comes out. He's like, I've got big news. I want to dedicate this match to my dad. I want to dedicate the match to my wife. Speaking of, here she is. We've got some big news. Maurice lets everybody know that she is pregnant with their second child. He's like, I'm dedicating this match to my unborn child as well. And then it all just fell apart.
It all kind of fell apart. So there was a lot hanging.
So there was a lot riding on that for the Miz. So he was very, very clearly devastated. And he was just constantly apologizing to Shane. And Shane just, I don't think it phased Shane. He's just like, mate, it happens.
It's a loss happened, man. Don't worry about it. You're cool.
Exactly it.
There's
Shane's
even a
super
point.
chill. Like, I love how relaxed and how calm he is about these things.
Yeah, very supportive of one another.
Yeah, exactly it. Being such a new tag team, there's definitely a really good connection between them.
Moving on next to the Intercontinental Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush in a 2-on-1 handicap match versus Finn Balor. So in order to get the win, Finn Balor would have had to pin either Bobby Lashley or Lio Rush. He gets the pin on Lio Rush, gets the win. Finn Balor is now the Intercontinental Champion.
Amazing! Woo. I was so excited about that. Obviously, like, these matches really sort of grind my gears because obviously the bigger guy is always going to get up a bit and there's going to be a massive sort of beat down. And then obviously when Lio Rush comes into the match, it changes the pace entirely because Finn's obviously a smaller guy compared to Bobby. Those two can go a bit faster, picks up the pace of the match a little bit. It's not so like slam heavy on Bobby Lashley's end. It's more athleticism, speed, jumps, flips, you name it, they're doing it. And I love that. And I love that, Lio Rush got so cocky that he tagged himself in and then got his ass beat down and pinned.
It was, but like up until that point though, there was this great to and fro between the two of them. So Bobby would get in there, get the relentless, get Finn down to like almost next to nothing, tap in Lio. Lio would come there, do what he needs to do, and the second that Finn would start get that momentum back up, in comes Bobby Lashley, brings him back down.
Yes.
So like there was always
this
good rapid decline. So it was kind of like, this is where Finn is, brings him down, he comes back up, brings him down. So he never was able to really get back to his full potential.
Yeah.
But because of that did lead to, as you mentioned, the cockiness of Lio to then tag himself in when, if they kept that system up,
Bobby Lashley would have kept his title.
Bobby would have kept the win and it would have been no problems at all. But because of that one judgment call, I believe it once again it did end in the coup de grace. Yep. Which is always seems to go wonders for Finn Balor.
Yeah.
So it was very, very, very good to see.
Yeah, I was definitely on my edge. Like, I was on the edge of my seat for that one as well. I think for Finn especially, there's a lot riding on it coming out of obviously being brutalized by Brock Lesnar and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, so it's super impressive that he's had a shot at 2 belts in 2 months. So that's really good. So that's sort of showing the opportunity, like the opportunities that have been given towards Finn and his potential to take those opportunities and run with them.
Yeah.
So that was exceptional to see. What was weird to see. So once Leo got pinned, Finn was fucking out of that ring.
Yeah, he's gone.
Like he's like, I ain't sticking around. I know what happens if I stick around. So Bobby, instead of unleashing on Finn as he has in the past, instead turned to Leo and start pounding down on Leo. My phone's going bonkers. Over there.
Yeah, mine's doing the same. Discord.
Yeah, so that was a great outcome for me personally. I was a big fan because I'm a big Finn fan. So it was nice to see him finally get a bit of love that he deserved.
Yeah, I was definitely excited to see Bobby Lashley unleash on Lio Rush. That was a bit of a nice turn of events, I guess.
Yeah, like I was that one of those things. I'm like, fuck, is this done?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like if Bobby has to talk by himself, it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
So be friends with him. He's kind of cool. He's very helpful for you. Moving next to the Raw Women's Championship match between the current champion Ronda Rousey versus the leader of the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott. This was a pretty much a big old squash match with Ronda getting the armbar on Riott for the win.
Yeah.
Small little touch we should mention that Ruby did also come out dressed as, I believe, Sonya Blade from...
Oh, you mean Ronda?
Yeah, what
Ronda.
I said. Ruby?
You said Ruby.
My bad.
Yeah.
I meant Ronda came dressed out as Sonya Blade, who is the character she is voicing in Mortal Kombat 11, which comes out in a couple months.
So yeah, that was a pretty cool touch. She definitely looked really badass.
Especially seeing as like the Rumble, she was dressed as the White Ranger pretty much. Yeah. So like, I really like the inspiration that she's getting.
Yeah. She suits the look for sure. Like Ronda definitely, like if they were to do a live action movie with a Sonya, I would totally believe Ronda would play it. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed because I know how good of a wrestler Ruby Riott is, and I know that she is bigger than that squash match.
Yeah.
But obviously, it did lead into a big thing with Charlotte Flair was obviously ringside.
As we knew from SmackDown, I believe, or maybe Raw. Maybe in Raw.
No, it was Raw.
It was Raw. Yeah, Charlotte said she would be ringside to see this match go down because she wants to essentially root for Ruby Riott because she's going to go stomp her Ronda.
Yeah.
Because once again, from Survivor Series, that beat them with the kendo stick. Like Ronda's got some heat under her, and she wants to punch the fuck out of Charlotte.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like it's this weird, like watching the relationship between, say, Becky and Ronda, who they both have that. There is some history there, and they're keen to punch out. But the way Ronda's approaching Becky is along those lines of, look, this is going to be a great match. She's approaching very professionally. She's like, there's emotion there, but it's not overriding the business.
Yes.
Like for her, it's like, this is going to be a great match. It's going to be a main event at WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. These are the steps we need to do to get there to take this on. So she's approaching it very MMA, UFC style.
Yes.
Where they are, they are kept in check. They do hold a temper. And once they get into the octagon or the ring, whatever, that's where it takes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I like.
So the point I was getting at with that with Charlotte, there's very clear emotion there.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Having her ringside was like there's history, there's a lot more bad blood, and I'm keen to see that happen.
Yes,
so that's what I was getting at.
So it definitely. I think the match ended so quickly because it did really fuel Ronda's fire.
Yeah, definitely.
She was very super emotional about now having to face Charlotte instead of Becky, which is what she wanted. But obviously, I think Charlotte gets in the ring and her and Ronda are a bit face to face, and next minute hobbling in on crutches is Becky Lynch because she went to a house show the night before and invaded the ring, and Charlotte got the best of her.
Knee.
Yeah, Charlotte got the best of her, beat the living crap out of her knee, so she was damaged the next night. Yep. She comes in on crutches and she jumps in the ring.
Which might I add, as someone that is suspended for 6 days,
and
she wasn't moving very fast. What the fuck, security?
Yeah, exactly it. She definitely was not, But, she gets in the ring. She throws her crutches in. She gets...
hobbles away in the ring.
Hobbles away in, rolls in. And
like
then
Charlotte's pointing like, what the fuck you doing? Like, you can't be serious, right? Like, you can barely walk. Why are you in this ring?
And then...
she proceeds to beat the living piss out of Charlotte with that...
crutches.
With those crutches. And if you look, if you keep an eye on social media, you can see the bruises
her bruise all the way down her arm. arms, man. Wild.
While this Ronda's just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
and
Ronda's
she just
just
steps
watching.
back, still holding her championship belt. She's like, oh, this is fun to watch.
Yeah, I would too.
And Becky eventually looks at her because there's a set of crutches at Ronda's feet, and she's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, Becky's got one bent up crutch. There's the other one.
Yeah,
there.
so
She's
Becky's implying like, fucking
on.
get in on this, like do this, like you want to do this,
And Ronda's
as in
like,
be willing to do
Yeah.
this. So Ronda, I believe Ronda may have gone to
yeah,
pick it up.
she did pick one up, and she's looking at it, and she's looking at Charlotte, and back and forth, and taking her sweet time. And Becky's just like,
And then,
bam, and
she's
she
like,
belts
"Yep,
Ronda
yep."
as well.
And there is some clean shots to the head, like as Ronda,
Yeah.
you see, he's just profusely bleeding from the right side of her
Yeah.
forehead. Like this is a solid turnaround, and then security
And
turns up.
I was not expecting her to attack Ronda. Either.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Ronda to get the hit on Charlotte, and then Becky just unleashes on her.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Becky, you asking for trouble?
That's one of those things, like, don't show preference, because if Becky can find a way to score points against both, that is the more likelihood. That's her way of getting in that ring.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
there is very minimal chance that they're going to pull one of those two out of the main event for WrestleMania. So what she needs to do, she needs to do Charlotte and steal her
Wiggle
way
her
in.
Yeah.
And I think this might be a good way to get that
Yeah,
to
for
get that
sure.
going forward.
Yeah, so
But
long
then
as
security
she-
does come, handcuff her, get her out.
Yeah.
So
I was wondering that because I was like, her arms are, they handcuffed her.
Yep.
She in trouble. I was like, they can handcuff me.
And that brings us to the final match of the night. Oh, no, it doesn't. Brings us to
No.
some fucking boring ass match. Which a match I'm pretty sure we've seen about 8,000 times now. Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman,
No DQ
which
match.
became a no
which-
DQ match, as they've always been.
Yeah. Predictable.
Sorry, we forgot to mention as well. For SmackDown Tag Team, I believe 2K19 predicted that the Shane and Miz would retain.
Yes.
Didn't.
Incorrect
Ruby
twice.
Ronda did retain, which is fine.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley was supposed to retain,
Yep.
but Finn Balor won there.
Yes.
So with this match between Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman, 2K19 predicted Baron Corbin would win. It was correct. However, one thing it didn't predict, because at the time of the stream, it wasn't confirmed to be a no DQ match.
Yes.
So in the actual match of the pay-per-view, Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley did join the scuffle to really just once again put the pound on Braun Strowman, which I'm kind of sick of seeing.
Yeah, so am I.
However, when they did do the triple power bomb
Through
into
double
double table,
tables. Yeah, that was really cool. They had they had two tables set up. They had an extension of the stairs in the middle. The three of them, all three of them got
Like
drawn
Shield
up.
style.
Yeah, power bombed him through two tables, and then Baron Corbin just took his sweet time pinning him.
Yeah.
It was just like, I got this. Like, he's done for. That was obviously super predictable. I was like, no DQ match. Wait for it. I give it a minute,
Yeah.
and they'll Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre.
Like
will be out
it
here.
really makes me wonder in terms of people that are allowing these matches. It's like, look, we understand that there is some kerfuffle between the two of them. There's a long history here, but we are sick. We don't like, you sort this out on your own time. This is not the place to deal your beefs, because we are people like the universe. We are sick of seeing this.
Yeah.
And every time we every time we give you that opportunity, something fucking happens and it's boring.
What? It's
and
been like close to 6 months now or something.
It's
like
been
that? Or maybe a
yeah,
year?
no, it's been since Survivor Series.
Yeah. So it's been
Which-
going on for a long
Yeah, since
time.
November of last year. That's 4 months.
4 months. There you go. So it's tedious. It's too much. I'm sick of seeing
I'm getting really bored with it.
Yeah.
And I love Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
and I
and
do
that's
want
what-
Braun Strowman to finally get the win.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was like. I was really gunning for Braun to get a win, and when he did, and I was just like, oh, come on.
to have once again, so with TLC, when he was able to get the assistance for another no DQ match, because he was still unable to fight at that match, but that doesn't mean he got the assistance of Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, as well as Finn Balor and I believe Apollo Crews. So he was able to get the win there, but kind of not a real win.
Yeah.
And then Rumble, he was able to eliminate Baron, which was kind of cool.
Yes.
But
it's not enough. Nah, you really want to see him get that proper clean win.
yeah,
No bullshit.
exactly.
Just a proper win, which you can tell. Like, obviously, Braun is wrestling clean. He's wrestling. He's trying to get the legitimate win over Baron, and Baron's just throwing
Not
rules out
making
the
it
window.
possible.
Yeah.
But that does move us into the final of the night. Now, I'm going to quickly try to remember this off the top of my head in terms of who did what order. Actually, no, that's not right. So that's that one. So give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. So that was 6.
Just a little bit of elevator music for you.
I think that's how it went down.
Yeah.
So next, as there was the WWE Championship match.
Can we just mention before we do start that, I absolutely loved that when Daniel Bryan came to the ring, immediately referees were there and they were like, Rowan, you've got to go.
Yep.
Like, straight away, like, sorry, mate, you can't even be anywhere near the ring.
It's not as if Roman's going to come in underneath and pop his way
exactly
in.
It.
But no,
I
to their
loved
word.
that.
Yeah,
that was a nice little touch. So
the entrants for the WWE Championship match were Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, and in order to replace the injured Mustafa Ali was Kofi Kingston of the New Day.
Oh yeah.
And I can believe this was the order of elimination. Samoa Joe was first. Jeff Hardy was second. AJ Styles was third. Randy Orton was fourth. And that leaving Kofi Kingston fifth, and the winner being Daniel Bryan.
I was not expecting Samoa Joe to be eliminated first.
No, I thought he would have a much longer time.
So did I. That was a huge shock, and that elimination put me on the edge of my seat for the rest of the match. I was like, this can go any way, and I loved that.
Saying that though, it makes total sense. You want to get him out first.
Yes.
Because in terms of the entrance, it was between, like, it did start with Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe. So understandably, Daniel was just skirting the ring, just killing time until the next entrance to come in.
Yes.
Because if any chance, if Joe can get that cocaine in a clutch, and like it's going to eliminate fucking anyone.
It's done.
And except from interference from somebody else and trying to break that clutch, like you're out. You're being submitted. Period.
Yeah.
So they've made the right decision to sort of try what Daniel did to scoot him out. I forget who got him out, but I don't think it was Daniel. Was it Daniel?
I think it might have been Kofi.
Maybe Kofi. Well, either way, whoever did finally get Joe out made the right choice, because that is a safety among everyone.
Yeah.
Like if any, like I don't see it as a disappointing thing. I see it as a show of pure threat that Samoa Joe can provide.
Yeah, definitely. I don't remember. I don't think he did, but I think for once Joe didn't go crazy on anybody. He just left.
He just took like one, because you're not allowed to, man. Like you're not going to prove anything. You're not going to.
Yeah, exactly.
You're out.
Yeah, it was nice to see him just walk out instead of just chuck a hissy and try and bounce somebody.
So there was no standpoint there. So Jeff Hardy did sort of. There's a good focus on AJ Styles in this match, including an exceptional swanton bomb with AJ over the top buckle.
Yes, he was over the top buckle. Yep.
Beautiful.
And Jeff come off the chamber. Wow.
Yeah,
that
so off the
guy.
chamber to doing swanton onto AJ, exceptional. However, by doing that, like that's the problem with the chamber match. If you do get up in the air at any point, someone's going to take advantage of that. Same as a rumble, right?
Yes.
So as he takes that land, he gets up and there's a knee in the face from Daniel. Pin. Yes. He's out of there.
Yeah, I love that because I expect nothing less from Jeff Hardy. I was going back the other day and watching old Hardy Boys matches and things like that, and I absolutely
excellent. I talk about this one all the time. There was a tag team championship match with Edge and Christian, and where he gets that spear from hanging from the belt.
Yeah, the ladder match. Yeah. Phenomenal. Those guys, like Jeff has always been one to put his body on the line, to win it all. And that's what I love about him is he's always so exhilarating to watch. And I loved it. I absolutely loved that. That was exactly what I wanted to see out of Jeff.
Yeah, no, it did absolutely great.
Yeah.
Speaking of AJ Styles, though, he was predicted to win thanks to 2K19.
Yes.
However, did not. He had an all right moment. However, there was an awesome RKO from the top rope from Randy Orton that kind of spelled out the fate for AJ Styles. Like, to his credit, AJ, first thing he did when he entered, he went boom on that rope, phenomenal forearm. Like, he came in keen. He came in hard.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one point there where like 4 of them were climbing along the chamber. Like, it was so good to watch. Like, but yeah, that RKO, Randy knows how to capitalize. He knows when to pick the point to do it. He can just pinpoint and be like, all right, he's in the air, perfect timing, bam. Yeah. Like, he is so precise with that. There is there's a reason they call him the Viper, He's just
the apex predator.
The apex predator. He's just so quick to strike. Yeah. Like, he's so on it. And that's what I love about, apart from, He's visually appealing. He's just, phenomenal athlete. He's been doing it long enough.
Yeah.
You know, he was the youngest world heavyweight champion, for crying out loud. Yeah. Like, you know, he's...
And he has the third highest pay-per-view appearances. Third to Kane and Undertaker, respectfully.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
been around a while.
Yeah, he's good at it.
172 appearances or something like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, phenomenal. He's just delightful.
You know, with 12 pay-per-views a year, 172 matches, think about that.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah. So, like, he did absolutely great. Like, he was, like, once again, I don't think he was really in there to win. I think he was there to fuck people. And fuck people he did.
Yeah, it was great.
So then he had a great one-on-one with Kofi.
Yeah,
definitely. I think they made Trouble in Paradise. And I think we have an SOS. That cost him the match.
Mm-hmm.
So that got Randy out of there. And then we literally just watched this just outstanding like sort of blows between Kofi and Bryan, and it went for a good like 10 minutes after everybody else was out. Like holy actual fuck. Like
I am so stoked about this because I said this last week, like it is Kofi's time to shine. It has been 11 years. Like he is clearly fighting for something that he cares a lot about. And it was obviously like, I'm not discrediting Daniel Bryan. Clearly he cares a lot about it as well because he fought for his bloody life. But there's just, I think there's this bigger fire under Kofi. And I think I heard Shane say it this week. He's captured the imagination of the WWE universe again. And he totally has. He is this whole brand new massive thing. He's this big enigma now, and I love everything about it. Kofi is just, he's the man right now.
Yeah.
He is the man. He is a spectacular to watch.
Kofi brought something amazing. Like he's got this wily sort of, I don't know, I can't think that's the right word to explain it. He's just, the way he held his own against everybody in that ring and then be able to go as long as he did and as hard as he did.
Especially like considering a couple of nights before he was in the ring for an hour.
Yeah, with that gauntlet match.
Yeah,
right?
with the gauntlet match. So
then having him come and do that, and the crowd were going wild. There were Kofi chants, and at the end, like now granted these are normally only resorted for when someone retires, but we're getting thank you Kofi because it's one of those things. I think Kofi truly brought something back.
Those thank you chants really had me concerned because I was like, is he gonna retire? Like, because you only get that when somebody's leaving.
I don't think there was something missing in WWE if I'm setting up, but like there were.
It was hidden in the shadows.
I'm not implying that something's missing. I'm implying that Kofi reignited something in everyone. And that's just the excitement of it all. I think it's just that pure childlike glee of watching two superstars just go nuts on each other. And I can't explain. It was so good.
And it was so beautiful after the match to see Xavier and Big E come out and escort him out of the ring and just stop and sit with him on the edge of the stairs while everybody's chanting and just
share a moment together.
The brotherhood that they have together. And I did after later in the day, I did watch an interview with The New Day, and Big E of all people was welling up talking about how much Kofi deserves this opportunity and how proud of him he is and how much he loves his brother and his friend and his idol. You know, they were both saying, you know, we look up to Kofi. Like there is a reason, you know, he is who he is, and we are so happy that we get to share this with him. I was welling up watching Big E well up because it is truly a beautiful thing that Kofi is doing to the universe.
There is something amazing about the New Day.
Yeah, they're all invoking a lot of beautiful emotions. Yeah. So it's definitely got me hooked right back in. It was like, I guess it was just the hook, line and sinker of it all. Like,
I don't need any help. I don't need any help loving the New Day is all I'm saying.
I love this. This is great. I love the New Day.
But it's not actual cereal. It's action figures.
Oh, that's even better. I love that. Oh, that's so cool.
So for those that don't know, this is the outfit they wore. I believe it may have been WrestleMania 34.
Love it. I love the New Day. I have so much love
if
for
not
the New
33.
Day. They're so much fun.
So what do you think of the pay-per-view?
Overall, I was stoked with it. I guess for me, the low light was the Ronda Ruby match, just because I was expecting more. Like I said, Ruby is a phenomenal wrestler. I would have loved to have seen her be able to pull out a bit more. But overall, I reckon it's a 2 thumbs up. Like, I was very happy with it.
Yeah, look,
Good old Mick Foley.
when we only have like 5 matches on the card, it's pretty easy for the good to outweigh the bad.
Yeah.
Overall, 3 of the 5 were solid.
Yeah.
Highlight for me, probably the men's chamber match, second to the women's chamber match, then the Intercontinental Championship, then Ronda, then Baron and Braun.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Mostly because, so for that reason, it's a good like 70%, or 60, 70%, something like. It's one and a bit Kurt Angles,
Yeah.
It's 1.5 thumbs up. It was all right, but like I said, it's that weird line of like I remember it fondly. I thoroughly enjoyed what I saw.
Yeah.
But it's just like those 2 things really brought it down so hard that it kind of tarnished the rest of the night.
And it's tricky as well, obviously being right after Rumble and just before Mania.
Yeah, because especially that we've got now Fastlane in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Fastlane is in a minute.
Real close turnaround between the 2 pay-per-views.
So yeah, I'm honestly not expecting too much out of Fastlane because obviously being Mania being the biggest card of them all, I feel like Fastlane will be a setup for what we're going to see at Mania. Obviously, being that last
so we will see like when we do talk about Raw and SmackDown, there are some things that are coming into that. So.
But I do feel like I feel like Elimination Chamber and Fastlane are both going to be a bit sort of.
But so Elimination Chamber was better than I expected. However, just because of the Rumble being so prominent and then Chamber being a pretty solid setup for a pay-per-view, it would be beneficial, I believe, and they've been doing it for like fucking 2 decades, so who am I to tell them what to do? Yeah. But like bring it down later in the year, because like after Mania, the pay-per-view seemed to take a bit of a slow dive. Yeah. Like Money in the Bank's pretty cool, but like Hell in a Cell's like having Hell in a Cell and Chamber too close is also kind of weird. So it's this weird line. I think it would do better later in the year.
Maybe swap it with Hell in a Cell.
No, because even Hell in a Cell should kind of be on its own.
Yeah.
This weird place. I don't know where it's moved it to. Maybe in like June, perhaps. Best Money in the Bank.
It's tricky.
I hope they come in Australia again this year, because if whatever they do, I'm going.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Unquestionable.
We will be there.
If it's in Sydney, I'm fucking flying to Sydney.
Yeah.
If it's whatever,
it'll be crazy if we do it. Yeah.
But I said solid pay per view. Some big downers, but some also
love
big
the men's
pops
chamber.
as well.
Love the women's chamber.
But let us know what you thought of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in the comment below, or heading over to the Discord channel in that Wrestle Talks. And we also have a new channel in there called The Young and the Wrestler. So we want to get some bit more fan interaction going on as well, a bit of interaction with you, the audience. So if you want to highlight something in the match, something that you really enjoyed, or something you want us to discuss, head to the Discord channel in the description, both below on the video and in the description of your podcast feed.
Yes.
And come join the conversation, have a chat with us, and we will share some good old chats.
Yep. Ask questions, things like that.
Yeah. Now, if you are someone that doesn't feel comfortable using Discord or social media, we do also have a website link. So if you go to popculturist.com/questions, you can also submit questions through there.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go on social medias, because that's totally a thing. So that's fine. Yeah. But anyways, that was The Young and the Restless. You can listen to it every Friday at 8 a.m. on your podcast services and 9 a.m. very soon on your YouTubes. If you want to show... wait, did I say iTunes or podcast services? I don't know, whatever.
Podcast services.
Fuck podcast services. All right, whatever you do, whatever service you do use, please sure to give us a 5-star rating if you feel that's appropriate, or a review of some capacity. Help us get out there, because thanks to you guys, we did actually make the new and noteworthy section of games and hobbies on iTunes. So thank you very much. And if there are any new listeners that did come from that and you've managed to stay this long, thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy your time here.
Yeah, and it's you guys that get us to things like this.
Like the Fighting with My Family review, which will be next week.
Yeah. So, the more you guys show us support, the cooler things we can do for you.
That's 100% true. And if you want to show the support for Pop Cultures on your body, head to popcultures.com/shop. We can buy shirts like this, like that. There are Young and the Wrestler shirts there, so you can certainly jump on there if you want to support that. We do a bunch of other things as well at Pop Cultures, including For the Players, which I didn't change that picture. Someone have to Photoshop the living shit out of the removal of that picture behind me. Four Players, the Pop Culture PlayStation podcast every Monday. And we are on Patreon and we are on Twitch, a bunch of other things. I'm running out of things to fucking plug because there's so many. But anyway, until the next one, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I am the semi-precious version of The Rock, the Gem.
See you next one.